We've been running bike tours at Eat Sleep Cycle for 10 years, and currently our most popular tour that always sells out is Going to Surprise You. No, it's not Mallorca, although that's a popular option. It isn't our local tours near Girona either. In fact, it isn't on the Iberian Peninsula at all. It's Morocco. I'm going to talk about why it's our best-selling tour destination and why you might want to add it to your bucket list. Adventure destinations are on the up. One of the key travel trends in 2025 is in response to over-tourism issues in saturated destinations. As a result, off-the-beaten-track destinations are on the rise. After all, people want to travel where they feel welcomed. Our itinerary takes riders far away from Marrakesh into the Atlas Mountains, where we're welcomed by Berber communities and even into village homes. The riding is also insane. Our tours are designed for people who love to ride, and a love of riding is critical to make it through the tough stages of our Atlas Mountains adventure. One guest told us that he'd had one of the best days ever on the bike. So lots of people travel to Morocco, but why do they specifically book our Eat Sleep Cycle trip? One of the great things about our tours is that you have the safety net of joining an organised group. We offer an adventure with a backup plan. Many people sign up for our group trip as they don't want to be stranded in the middle of nowhere if there's a problem with their bike, or left feeling vulnerable and isolated in a country where the culture and language is very different to home. Another reason why Morocco is a great place to ride is that you can actually get decent quality rental bikes. One of the challenges of travelling to an off-the-beaten-track destination is sourcing a good quality bike. Marrakesh has a couple of good rental centres, and we work with a supplier who's been able to invest in a fleet of new bikes to service our tour group. Price point is another great reason why people choose to ride in Morocco. Our Atlas Mountain adventure is a true off-the-beaten-track adventure. The trip is designed around the best riding, and as a result, the accommodation is basic. We're able to run the trip at just over half the cost of a normal Eat Sleep Cycle trip. Of course, that means that this trip is not for everybody, and we've just developed a new trip in Morocco in nice hotels for riders who appreciate home comforts after a tough day on the bike. Another reason why Marrakesh and the Atlas Mountains is on the map for cyclists is because of events like the Atlas Mountains Race. Events like this really do a great thing to build a destination and get more people travelling to explore it for themselves. Riding in Morocco is like a truly otherworld experience. The landscapes are huge and the distances between the villages and towns are enormous. And this is one of the things that really struck me when I travelled to Morocco for the first time. I'm used to looking at destinations on European scale maps, so it's always really easy to get a coffee or, you're only ever like a few miles away from the next town. In Morocco, you could be a full day's ride from the next place to get water. And that really is one of the most incredible things about the country. You really are out there in the middle of nowhere. The terrain in Morocco is best described as epic. If there are paved roads, the roads are often quite rough, so a gravel bike is always the best choice of bike, even if you're doing a road trip in Morocco. The gravel has great variety. There's some hard-packed routes, but also some more technical sections too, so it's really important to know where you're going and make sure your bike is prepped for what you're going to find. One of the cool things about riding in Morocco is the people that you find along the way. So you can be riding in the middle of nowhere and you'll find a shepherd with a flock of sheep. You'll also find children walking to school across vast distances, and it really is mind-blowing when you arrive to their village an hour later by bike. When you go through the villages, you'll find a hive of activity, and often the children will want to run after your bikes or even have a go on one. So you've had lots of reports of guests having nice conversations with local people, communicating through body language and the power of the bicycle. One of the big things about the route that we use on our trip is that you go through areas that really don't have any other form of tourism. They're getting more and more used to people travelling through by bike, but you'll still have that lovely, authentic, new experience with people. So one of the coolest things about travelling through an untouristed place is that you're going to have really authentic interactions with local people. It's also worth considering what you really are looking for. Are you going to be comfortable in a basic hotel? Are you going to be comfortable in a place that doesn't have a Western-style toilet? So if you are going to plan a trip to Morocco on your bike, just be really careful that you know what it is that you're signing up for. The riding is really tough, it's beautiful, but it's hard. The accommodation, as I said before, it is rustic, and you're going to have to be without a Western toilet for 1 or 2 nights. But in return, you'll have an incredible experience that really will last for a lifetime, and it really will give you a new perspective on the world. And that's why Morocco is one of our best-selling tours this year. If this video has intrigued you and you want to find out more about adventurous bike trips, then please do subscribe, because there'll be more about these trips coming soon.